Now, councillors, we'll move on to apologies. I'll move from the chair that we accept apologies from councillors Hall, O'Malley, Steadman and Vandevers. Seconded councillor Staines. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against? Carried. Item 4, confirmation of the agenda. I'll move that the council confirms the public part of the agenda with the following alteration in regard to Standing Order 2.1, option C being adopted in relation to moving and seconding and speaking to amendments. Second to councillor Staines. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against? Carried. Item 5, declarations of interest. I'll move again that we... Well, for a start, are there any changes to the declarations of interest? If there are none, then I'll move that council notes, A, notes the elected members' interest register, and B, confirms the proposed management plan for elected members' interests. And I also included in this the note the executive leadership team's interest register as well. Second to councillor Staines. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against? Carried. On to item 6, confirmation of minutes. I'll move from the chair that council confirms the public part of the minutes of the ordinary council meeting held on 1st of May 2018 as a correct record. Second to councillor Staines. Any discussion on that? There is none. I'll put it. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against? Carried. On to the minutes of committees. Infrastructure Services and Networks Committee. Councillor Wilson.
Thank you, Your Worship. Could I please move that the Council confirms the minutes of the Infrastructure Services and Networks Committee held on the 16th of April 2018 as a correct record?
Second to councillor Lalfiso. Any discussion on that? I'll put it. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against? Carried. Item 8, Planning and Environment Committee. Councillor Benson-Pope.
Thank you, Your Worship. I move that council note the minutes of the Planning and Environment Committee held on the 17th of April 2018.
Second to councillor Newell. Any discussion? I'll put it. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against? Carried. Item 9, and the 10-year plan deliberations. I will move that council notes the public part of the minutes of the council 10-year plan deliberations held on 14th to the 16th of May and takes part C items of the minutes of those deliberations meetings in the non-public part of the meeting. I need a seconder for that. Second to councillor Gary. Any discussion on any of that? Okay. I'll put it. All those in favour, please say aye. Against? Carried. Andrew Wiley. Councillor Wiley, sorry. You're going to move...
Item 10, 11 and 12.
10, 11 and 12 being the bulk lot of community board minutes. Second to councillor Elder. Any discussion on any of those? I'll put it. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against? Carried. Right, on to the reports. Item 13, criteria for place-based community grants. Welcome, Joy. Welcome, Nick.
I'm happy to go straight to questions.
Okay. Questions, councillors. Councillor Gary.
Thank you very much. My question is around page 26, item 5, and the Pororua Village mode. I wondered if you could just explore that a little further for us.
So the Pororua Village model is really sort of a partnership with the council and the community, where there is operational and capital funding identified for particular areas of the community, and it's a community-led approach in conjunction with the council providing resourcing. It's one of the options for us to explore for the longer-term place-based support.
Councillor Wiley.
Thank you. Just a quick question. Option 20 on page 28, paragraph 21. Can you just let me know what is the last line? Year funding being of the key changes.
One.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Any further questions, councillors? Well, if there are none, would someone like to move the recommended? Moved Councillor Hawkins, seconded Councillor Newell. Discussion. Do you wish to speak to this? Any other speakers? I'll put it. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against? Carried. Thank you. On to item 14, the Aurora Energy Limited draft statement of intent. Welcome, Mr. Toombs. Yes, the spotlight is harsh today. Dave, do you wish to introduce it, or do you want to go?
I'm happy to go straight into it. No questions.
Questions, councillors? No questions? In that case, would someone like to move? Councillor Lord and second Councillor Newell. Do you wish to speak to this? No. Anyone else want to speak? I'm going to put it. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against? Carried. Thank you. Thank you, Dave. Item 15, submission to the Otago Regional Council long-term plan. Welcome, Ms. Bodecker. Sorry? Do you wish to introduce this, Sharon? No. Right. Questions, councillors, on the submission? You'll all have seen. Councillor Gary.
I was keen to know what the response from ORC at the hearings was when the submission was presented. One gets a bit of a sense of how that information is received, and I wondered if perhaps Deputy Mayor might be able to tell us about that. Is that appropriate?
Yeah, it's a perfectly good question. Councillor Staines, you stood in for me and presented this, so you're the best person to talk about the response.
So, as is the norm, I did not read out our submission, as the panel indicated that they had read it. I made specific comments on 3 areas. One was on the urban water quality, one was on public transport governance, and
other matters.
Yeah. So all of those comments that I made were received well. I had some questions. I included on behalf of a few councillors a comment on the possibility for a centre city loop bus, because as council we had asked for a costing from ORC on what it might take to have that service, and we hadn't heard any response. So I asked the panel if they could facilitate a response to that and explain why that was important to us, because as we're looking at our centre city redevelopment and what might happen in terms of increased pedestrianisation, then that has an impact on bus service, and how the bus service may be organised, and a loop bus may be part of that solution. So for us to be able to think more widely about where we go in the future, we need to have that information. So I think in all aspects, our submission was received positively, and all of the questions were questions that indicated that they were interested and interested from a positive point of view.
Further questions? Well, if there are none, would someone like to move the recommended resolution? Moved Councillor Benson Pope, seconded Councillor Elder. Would anyone wish to speak to it? No one. I'll put it. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against? Carried. Are you saying for this one? Right. We're on to item 16, councillor appointments, it should be, to District Licensing Committee. Any councillor Hawkins?
Just a question, Your Worship. I would prefer to not be present for the consideration of this item as it is around appointments, or otherwise other nominees may take a similar view, and I'm questioned then at which point the meeting becomes incorrect. And we would have...
We've got 8. If
You're sitting back, you still count.
you're still a part of the, we're still core 8 with you in the room, even if you're sitting back. Is that right? So the question, so if you wish to withdraw, that's fine, and I take it that it's up to the individual councillors themselves to decide whether they want to withdraw. Well, it's noted that you have, and I take it, Councillor Lord, that you don't see the need to for yourself. That's fine. Are you sitting back or? No. Are you sitting back? Right. Just so I'm clear, you're going to move. Moved Councillor Benson Pope, seconded Councillor Wiley. Is there any discussion? I'm going to put it. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against? Carried. That's good. Now, I'll move from the chair that on the order paper that we move into non-public. Seconded Councillor Staines. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against? Carried.